right. All right, man. I'm so jealous that you got to play TPC right before Corn Ferry.
It was sweet, man. It really was. I was a member there for 3 years, so to kind of see the maturation of the golf course over that time and how the tournaments matured is really cool. The course was always supposed to have kind of a link style to it, and the grass has finally kind of grown in. But I was talking to Chris Nickel, my golf spy. We're out there golfing, playing Banker on the Skins app last week, and we were kind of talking about like how the course would be different with the conditions, and the guys just go out there and they just tear it up. It just shows you honestly how good the Corn Ferry guys are, how the PGA Tour guys, a lot of good PGA Tour
Totally.
pros have come from the Corn Ferry. So it was cool to get out there and play banker and win some money and kind of pay for the golf trip.
We're gonna have to do a special little segment on the Chris Nichols press dance.
It's pretty sweet. Yeah, he's wild, man. Like he's real off the cuff. He just kind of is. He just kind of gets it going and just does some crazy stuff when he's out on the golf course. He's a lot of fun. He's a really good player. He's really knowledgeable on the game. Which some guys that just test equipment, maybe that's kind of their speed. But he's a solid player and a great dude. Good friend.
Yep. Awesome. Well, hey, I mean, this is our first live stream, right? Since we launched.
Yep. First one.
It's been an incredible launch. We've had so many great rounds, people reaching out, giving us feedback. I guess step one is, did we nail the games, right? We have a lot of really popular games. Obviously we have tons in the hopper, but one of the fun things that's exciting, I know you talked to some of our users in Texas and some in Illinois,
Yeah.
and getting the feedback, kind of getting a sense of how people do things different in different regional areas is kind of exciting, right? It's like guys playing Chicago near Chicago, guys on the West Coast, obviously maybe calling it Stableford, or I know a lot of people in Arizona calling it Quota. So it's been fun, this whole experience of us kind of synthesizing what people's various requirements are for the games. And we want that feedback, right? I mean, we have live chat here.
Oh, sure.
If this is a good format, we're just calling it Tuesday Tea Time today. But if this is a good time to try to hit most of the country and try to hit most of our followers, this is the level of access we want you to have to us, because it's your game. What's your game? That's our
game. It's your app. Yeah. When you and I got together and said, hey, let's build this thing, one of the big goals was to solve a problem that was out there, right? Like, there's a lot of things that are around the social side, but there was nobody really focusing in on the actual games that golfers are playing when they're out on the golf course. Banker, Wolf, Vegas, Hammer, like real fun in action. I thought it was cool watching Full Swing on Netflix, where Justin Thomas and Spieth were playing, and they get up on the first hole at Southern Hills. They're trying to get ready for the championship, and they're talking about Hammer and what bets they're going to have. And it was a validating moment for me. I know it was for you too, where we're like, hey, this is exactly why we did this. Now, talking to golfers in Laredo, Texas, talking to guys in Illinois, talking to guys in California, talking to guys in Colorado, just in a couple of weeks where we get so much groundswell of people getting on the app. What's cool about it is everybody's got a different reason why they want the app, right? Some guys are trying to facilitate their Skins games, and other guys are, they're into Banker, or they're into finding new fun games that they can, get with their buddies and try something new. And so it's really cool that we're kind of providing some of that.
Yep. And I think one of the other things I think would be cool to do on this segment, on this Tuesday Tea Time or whatever we're calling it, would be, kind of those classic moments, those favorite golf gambling moments. And I would like to bring in our users, right? Like, even if it's a memory they have from before they had the Skins app, just sort of like, hey, I was down, I was in a Scottish bunker. Here were the stakes I had. Here is why I had to put it on the line. And, I either came through or I didn't prevail. And, here was my $1,200 of pain or whatever it was. I think that would be, I think that extra level of action is why people are betting on the golf course. And I think we should be able to capitalize on kind of hearing their moments and, hearing some of those stories, because some of those memories, I mean, they die hard, right? I mean, you'll never forget that moment. I think we could probably learn a lot from our users in that.
Well, yeah, we got to start with ourselves, because at the end of the day, we're users too. That's one of the beauties about, we're going to talk a little bit about obviously our app here, but we're also using the app. We enjoy the app. Like at Skins, what we're really trying to do more than anything, I think, is just be a part of the game. right where people are playing it, you know? And so when they get out there on the golf course and they have those big moments, you know, to Mike's point, we really want to hear that stuff from you guys. Like I remember, you know, I think back on, you know, I was a good high school golfer, and then I went to try to play college, found out quickly that I was good, but not as good as those guys, right? And so as you get out into the real world and you want to be competitive, this is the way to do it, right? You want to get on the golf course, you want to have fun with your boys, you want to, you know, put something on the line, you want to bet a little bit. And the best stories you have now in golf are when you went out and you were playing banker, you were playing something else, and you won a bunch of money. And that's the stuff that you remember. And those are the conversations you have at the clubhouse with your buddies over a drink, you know, all the time. So I agree. I think it's cool. I mean, I remember one time we were playing, so TPC Colorado again. And I was trying to qualify for the Ryder Cup event they were doing out there. Right. And they called it, I think, the Traveler Cup or something like that. I can't remember the exact name of it because I'm not good at remembering that stuff. But anyways, so we had to qualify. Scratch players had to qualify. The handicap players had to qualify. So I went out and played, and we just happened to be playing banker at the same time. And we were playing low man and skins all at the same time, which is another reason why.
During a qualifier.
Yeah, during a qualifier. So in qualifying, we've got a large group playing skins and low man, and we're playing banker within our group all at the same time. Right.
Awesome.
And I get up and I was 6 under through the first 6 holes. And, you know, birdie.
You went birdie, or was that, there was an eagle in there?
Okay, so the very first hole, par 5 birdie. The par 3 second hole at TPC is really tough. I hit it tight, almost made that. Hole 3 is a kind of a drivable par 4, but I put it on top of the hill and I hold out from like 70 yards. And then I parred 4, birdied 5, birdied 6, birdied 7. Actually, I think it was 7 under through 7 is what I ended up being. And I ended up shooting 66. I think I outkicked my coverage in the first 7 holes and then kind of came back to earth as a normal human being the rest of the way. But it was a lot of fun. And let's just say I won a ton of money that day.
I'll try to hide my disdain for you. I mean, I think that's the other thing that's beautiful. That I think the other beautiful thing for us as founders is you as a +4 and me as an over 20 handicap. I think it, you know, we really spread the gamut on golfers, and we're showing that there's a possibility for competitive play to happen in this very disparate skill set. I wanted to pull up one of the things we want to do, and this might have been when we were getting pulled in. This is Poppy Hills. I want to show you the inaugural first tee Poppy Hills, where Bersano made his stick. This is just to show you that we really can do custom games, right? This is a favorite game of Mr. Bersano, and of course you'll see it, and it's quickly becoming a favorite with our users. They're like, "Who is this guy?" But let's take a peek. This is him at Poppy Hills. Beautiful tee off shot. Oh, don't hit that. He scrambled it right down the right. And just to give you your bragging rights, I'm going to pull in. This is I think one of our early board meetings at Troon North in Scottsdale, not too far from you. Let's pull this. This is a beauty. I want to show this because I don't remember where this was, but this was something.
Come back. Oh, is that where it goes?
You by coaching your ball once it's in the air, but
talk to it. you get it to do what you want.
You were fine. So that's the
golf ball. The golf ball's like my wife. Sometimes it listens to me, but most of the time it doesn't. You know what I mean? Most of the time it's just like completely ignores what I have to say.
Well, we have So those are some of the things. I mean, I think the level of engagement. So we want feedback on which games people want. We also want, we want to hear, we're obviously talking to people across the country who are using the app. One of the things that is a challenge for us, but it was by design, right? Is when you first download the app, you're sitting there and you're looking at it and you're going, start round or enter match. What am I supposed to do here? We really did optimize the app for the learning about it on the course, right? One of our KPIs was 90 seconds to round from hearing about the Skins app. So, you got you and your 2 buddies are there. You get paired with a 4th guy's running out from the clubhouse, and you really want to play Vegas, or you really want to play Wolf, and you want to kind of enlist this guy. You need that 4th. Yeah. And so it's like, hey, boom, download the Skins app. Boom, boom, boom. So you're giving them that game code on the first tee. Well, it's not optimized for somebody hearing about us in their office and whatnot and saying, okay, I want to get into it. I want to search around. It's really designed for you're going to enter in that way, which is good and bad, right? Because all of you guys who have downloaded the app and haven't gotten out a chance to play the round yet, you're trying to see what's this all about. And you'll have a chance. You can go ahead and start a round, right? You don't have to complete the round. You can go ahead and start a round and fish around and do whatnot in there. But that's our way of kind of caveating. Look, the idea here was that day zero experience, we really want to get you right into the round. So somebody just has to yell out a 4-character game code and you're in there and you don't even know the guy's name, but he's already in your round. Let them finish out their, editing their profile and whatnot. So that was by design. And as obviously as we grow and everybody's got a bunch of rounds to their name and we don't need that on deck experience, there'll probably be a lot more. You'll see a lot more of the social media features where you're hunting around and looking for your worthy adversary on the app. But for right now, this is by design, right? So do not be afraid, people, to say start round. Go ahead and start a round, and then
one thing to piggyback on what you're saying a little bit, So we designed this at a lot of guys are rushing to the first tee. They're not always hitting a bag of balls before they go out and play, right? So sometimes you come to the first tee, you want one of the guys, most likely who's organizing the game, he goes in, puts in the match settings, adds the players, and you guys are off. And you'll see this in the app when you start a round. We made it so that you can quickly add players. The GPS will pull the nearby golfers right to the top, so you can quick add them. You can add them as friends, so that makes it easy. And it's meant to just get you in your round, so get going and make it simple so that you're not having to think about it, just does. And one thing I want to point out, we've been up for a couple of weeks. We've had a ton of rounds on the app, 0 crashes of the app. I think that's a big accomplishment for a company like ourselves that's out there, just getting off the ground and getting started. So really cool.
I can say from experience as the technologist on this conversation, it's just not something you see. 0 crashes.
You don't.
And it's a testament to our third co-founder, James has really taken kind of the scaffolding I started with and really architected it in a very lean, mean way. You'll see a lot of apps out there that are pushing 100 megabytes. We're at, I think, like 34 megabytes, not taking a huge footprint on your phone. And I think that stability, it was a long time coming. It's why, I have no fear of the competition. People looking at our app are going, whoa, it's a black box. What's inside it? Let me reverse engineer. We have really done a lot to, there's a lot of, as this has been a long build, but not without the feather in the cap that comes. Yep.
So you guys did great. No
awesome.
question.
So all right. So I think Tuesday Tea Time, let's get some feedback from people. See if this is, the right time to be doing this stuff. I think a lot of people here's what I'm hearing from a lot of people. A lot of people are going, look, my course administrator is being really kind of chintzy with giving me a Golf Genius ID for this tournament I want to do with 8 people or 12 people. And one of the things we're saying to course directors are, hey, look, these little ad hoc tournaments, 2 tee times, 3 tee times, 4 tee times, great opportunity to use the Skins app. Okay, great opportunity. Whether you're going to put everybody on the same game code, which you can do, just means you're not really completing the hole for the lead tee times. You can do that. We've got some great tournament stuff coming down the pike. So, keep people on board there. But I would say to anybody who's doing the administration of their, Golf Genius account and trying to figure out like, hey, do these guys really deserve their own GG ID for whatever their, matches that they're doing over here? If you're in that line of work, turn them on the Skins app. It's a great way to
it takes it out of their hands and puts it in your hands, right? Yeah. I mean, doesn't it put it in our hands, Mike, like as players? Yeah. I don't want to have to go to the pro or somebody else to get something. Right. I just want to go out with my boys and get going. And, we want to empower golfers to do exactly that. And that's really the game plan. So to your point, not just playing your 4-some, 3-some games, your 2-some games that we have on lock. We want to continue to expand those games, no question. So you'll see in there the ability to reach out to us personally. If you've got a game in Texas, you've got a game in Florida, you've got a game where you play and it's like, hey, this is the rules and here's kind of what we're doing. Yeah. Hey, we want to hear from you. We want to continue to expand the community. This is your app. This is what we want you to do. But tournaments is going to be a big part of where we're going to and the ability to do these larger groups. So expect that in the future.
Awesome. All right. Well, hey, should we send out with the good? Should we send out with the with this bumper of Nichols again?
Wait.
I just love it,
Before
man.
you do that, hold on.
Gets me excited.
This is our first live stream. Somebody is turning 50 in a couple of days, and I just want to say happy birthday to you, buddy. 50 is a big milestone. The dude doesn't look it. So you know how you're jealous of my handicap? I'm like, if I get to 50, which will be a few years from now, and with kids probably coming real fast, I hope I look as good as you, dude, and handle it with the grace you do. So happy birthday, dude.
Thank you, man. You got me
He's choking up. I know, he's all choked up. That's not the Zins at all. That's actually him getting choked up.
We are very excited. Yeah, my beautiful fiance is taking me to Maui tomorrow to celebrate my my half century on Thursday. So I'm very excited. We're gonna get out there in Kaanapali, play the Royale on Thursday. You should be there, but you have family obligations.
2 little kids, 3 and 1.
We're gonna be out there. I'll try to get some good footage with the GoPro on the course. Hopefully nail some good swing shots so I can pull them into our next live stream and show off some of my growing skills. But I appreciate that, man. I really do.
Yeah, man, absolutely. I would love to be there. Something about explaining to the wife that I'm leaving her with our 3-year-old daughter and our 1-year-old daughter to go to Hawaii to golf with the boys for a few days. It didn't go over really well, so I'll be there. I'll be there in spirit.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Hey, we're sending it out with Nichols. Everybody get excited for the British Open here. I know you're going to be watching. I'm going to be sipping Mai Tais by the pool. So
wait, who you got? Who you got before you go? You're picking one player to win it. Who you got? He's trying to think outside.
You put me on the spot.
You got Rahm, you got Smith, you got Scheffler, you got McIlroy, who just won the Scottish Open in incredible freaking fashion.
I'm not seeing Rory be able to pull it off like he did. You know, I was rooting for the Scot. I even tweeted at him, said, "Hey, I'm sorry. You really made a fan out of me, but I was really rooting for the Scot."
He's a class act. Yeah.
Victor.
We go with Hovland, huh? Okay. He's a player, man. He's easy to root for too.
I think Hovland could really surprise.
Well, he's got decent odds from what I looked at. I was kind of thinking about.
Well, I bet on golfers like I bet on horse racers, right? I look at how the odds are trending. If people are bouncing on that, so that's that was an informed decision.
I feel like the British. I feel like
who do you got?
Always,
who do you got?
Well, I always feel like
luckily this is being a live stream, so it's being
putting me on the spot.
Yeah.
I feel like the Open is always like one of two things. It's either somebody who's been there, done that, who has got that pedigree that's a champion, or it's somebody that comes out of nowhere in the field and wins, right? Mm-hmm. Like Cam Smith won last year. And it wasn't that Cam Smith came out of nowhere. He's an incredible golfer and a hell of a putter. But, he'd never won a major. So I would say I don't think Cam Smith is going to repeat. I know the odds are high.
And now he's number 3. He's 2 or 3 on Live. I mean, Cam Smith can. He's
a stud.
The guy almost never even has to putt anymore. If you've been noticing, amazing, I literally see him chip in. I'm like, dude, this guy doesn't even need a putter.
They're all so good. I did see John Rahm. They were showing a video before we cut out where he was practicing in the rain. I think it's at Royal Liverpool. Chipped in twice. And let me tell you something. Rahmbo's game is not chipping. If you go look at his stats, they're not good. I'm going to say John Rahm. I think Rahm's going to have a week this week. So I'm throwing it out.
Well, we followed him, when we were out there at the Waste Management this year.
He's an ASU grad, Harvard of the Southwest. You all know about it. Bunch of academics, studs come out of the ASU. So I'm not one of them, but there's a lot of them.
All right. Well, we'll see. All right. So you're going with Rahm. Well, I tell you, McIntyre proved it, right? Those conditions at the Scottish, those conditions. I mean, it was like it took a guy. It took local knowledge. I mean, I don't know if you saw the shot with Tom Kim standing over there and looking into the judges when his ball moved. I mean, he'd been standing there getting ready for his shot, and he was like, it moved. It moved.
Oh, dude, that 18th green went before McIlroy won. That 18th green was wild, right? Because literally, having been there before, when you're kind of putting for a win and the guys around you are struggling, and, he's marking his ball and it's moving and he's 3-whacking and, Fleetwood, I think, was struggling. They both had doubles on that last hole. So when you're sitting there and you got a putt to win the championship and he's just sitting there and the nerves are just building, I thought McIlroy, it was incredible that he made the putt. He just got up after waiting what seemed like an hour and a half, and just
he didn't believe it. He didn't even believe it. I tell you, that arched. I mean, that's going to be a photo forever. That's going to be
becoming the thing, though. Then Fowler kind of did it, right? Then he kind of do the same thing.
Yeah.
It's like our press dance thing with Nickel. This is how pros now, the PGA guys, when they win, they just basically look to the heavens and are just like,
as they should. All right, let's send it out with Nickel, and let's do this again next Tuesday tea time.
Yeah, buddy. Safe travels to Hawaii.
Right on. Oh.
Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit like I can't miss. Hey, this is what you call a bad bitch. What? This is what you call a bad bitch.
Two tie all time.
Looks a little something like this. Looks a little bit